Okay.
Conserving energy.
That's right.
There you go. It's cooler. All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Good evening and welcome to the July 7, 2014 meeting of the BUHS number 6 board. We're into the summer months, and this will be our one meeting in July. Committees are still active and working, so things are still happening. Tonight we have a very straightforward agenda, I believe, and we'll work our way through it, make sure we're covered on the things that we need to do for year-end warrants and so forth. So as usual, we will start with the clerk's report, and before I do that, though, I should introduce Keith Lyman, I don't know if many of you have met him, our BAM's principal, effective last week at some point. And how's it going so far?
Very well, thank you. Did spend a great
day off already on Friday?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. And everybody's treated me very well and made me feel very welcome. So.
Good. Wow. We're really excited about having you as part of the team. It'll be a great contribution. So, approval of minutes. We have the minutes from June 2nd, 2014, which were distributed.
I move the minutes which were distributed.
Second. Lori, and second by Ricky. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to those minutes? Yes?
A very minor correction on page 2 in the administrative report of the BUHS. I believe that the student that was recognized as Maddie with D's instead of Matty with T's. Minor.
Maddie with D's becomes Maddie with T's.
The other way around.
Maddie with T, okay.
I can do that.
A consonant change. Okay, well that's, I think, probably accepted. Anything else? If not, all in favor of approving the minutes of June 2nd with the corrections noted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, we've done that. Any communications? Lori.
I had an opportunity to review the recent Vermont School Boards Association publication from the boardroom, June of 14, and it talks about the open meeting law changes in Vermont effective July 1st. And then, you know, there was an article in the Reformer, it was either in Fridays or Saturdays or today's paper.
Today.
I think it was today.
I don't have the date.
Today.
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily proposing that we do anything different or that we need to do anything different, but I just want to bring it out onto the table that there was a thing or two that caught my eye that made me query if we're going to be in compliance on a going forward basis, since this was just in effect as of July 1 and we haven't met since then as a board, but there's a couple of things.
Was one of them that what we referred to in the paper today was the 5 days to get it on the website. On the websites. I read that as well the day that I got it, and I talked to Barb Nolkowski. I sent her an email and said, as far as you know, we're in good shape here, and she reviewed me the various places we post the notices. Occasionally, I know we get a little tight on the 48-hour, particularly as it relates to committee meetings. But it certainly needs to be, we need to be aware of it, and there's going to be some issues with it around the state.
Well, I also read that thing, and my question was about posting the agenda. And so I called the School Board Association office today and talked to Ms. Nace.
Yeah. She's the expert.
I was confused as to whether being a union district, if we were going to have to post our agenda in 2 places in each of the 5 towns, or whether it was just 2 places somewhere. And she said because a union district is its own municipality, it only has to be posted in 2 places somewhere within the union district. But also, it has to be posted in the clerk's office. I didn't know I had an office.
You mean the town clerk's office?
No, the
In your office?
union district clerk's
Well,
office.
you better get yourself an office.
Well, I'm going to be calling right up to central office and see where my office is located.
Jim's old office. I think the clerk for the district is different than the clerk for the board. I think at the annual meeting we vote in, is it Barb every year?
Yeah, Barb's only voted as the clerk for the
For the BOHS. And
6, yeah.
But she pointed out to me that the agendas go to our Brattleboro Town Hall, they go to the schools, and they go to the
Town clerks.
The town clerks.
So we're covered anyway,
Yeah.
because they're 2
Posted in 1 or 2
places.
places, yeah.
They're posted in 2 places in each one of the
But
towns.
that was
so-
a good question, is it 2 places in Dummerston, 2 places in Vernon?
I mean, there are some towns in the state of Vermont where they'd be hard put to find 2 telephone poles to post them on.
Mike might have to have an office down in
I
Vernon.
think we should,
We posted.
the article then went on to say, didn't it, that if we can't fulfill the 5-day thing, we should take the website down? I think that's what it said, didn't it?
Well,
Yes.
that's what some smaller,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's the minutes that have to be posted within 2 days or something, and we don't usually
2 days?
post them until, well, whatever the
I
date
think
is.
the
No, I
minutes
think-
are 5 days.
I think it's 5
Is
days.
it from approval of the minutes by us, or is it from the meeting where the minutes were taken?
I don't think that was clear, and I haven't read the legislation, but that would be an issue, getting it all put together and everybody looking at it. I can see where that could possibly be an issue.
Well, apparently there are issues with it because
Right.
they sounded like they were gonna rework it, probably make it worse next time.
So, but it's definitely an item that we should be paying attention to. And I think Barb is pretty much on top of it from a central office perspective.
Well, if she's on top of it, I'll rest assured.
And you know, it's great that you point those things out to us, keep us on our toes. Anything else under communications? Anything else for the clerk's report? Okay. Groups and individual visitors, I see none, so we'll move on to consent agenda. Is there a motion
So moved.
Second.
to go into consent agenda? Okay, Ruth, second. Got that, Jane?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed or abstentions? None? So we move on and start with finance.
Okay. I do not have anything on June 2nd's warrants. I have June 16th, which we approved at our meeting on June 18th. Warrant numbers 1242, 1243, 1244, 1245, 1246, 1248, 1249, 1250, 1251, and 1252, for a total of $207,654.72. And then I have warrants dated June 27th, which the Finance Committee approved at their last meeting on June 30th. I have warrants 1253, 1254, 1255, 1256, 1257, 1259, 1261, 1262, 1263, 1264 and 1265, for a total of $595,623.33. And then, if I could borrow your paper, please. We have payroll authorizations. May 2nd, the amount of $481,093.04. May 16th, $589,422.31. And May 30th, $502,208.36. And contrary to what it says on the agenda, we have not approved the June ones as yet.
The warrants here represented in June 27th are pretty much the year-end warrants. That's why we had our meeting on the 30th to wrap that up. And somehow the payrolls for June were in there, and either we didn't get them passed out at the meeting. You don't remember seeing those last two payrolls, do you? We'll have to follow up to make sure we bless those. But we had done maybe prior. Okay, and that was basically it. We had a list of kind of loose ends that we talked about at finance that Jim will be working on. Some of them he's been in already, trying to close things off and tie up the loose ends. There are some that will be passed on to Frank Rucker, who is now on stream, and we will make sure that those items that are still open don't slip through the cracks. Of course, Jim Kane being Jim Kane, there's not going to be a whole lot of odds and ends left over, unresolved issues. He's working very hard to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay.
And I believe at the June 18th meeting was when we awarded the painting bid for the auto shop.
Yes, that's right. That was after our last board meeting.
Yes, because we haven't met since, what, the 2nd of June or something.
Yeah, I don't have those bids, but it was a pretty.
I do.
Yeah, the auto shop is being completely repainted this summer. Everything was cleaned out of it at the end of school, and it was well due for 10 years. So getting a nice redressing.
My question, what color is it?
Does
I
it
think
say?
it was in the bid, it was a steel gray or something. I think it was in the bid.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I have a
There was
question.
water.
On the June 27th payroll, it's like 150,000 more than previous ones. Just let me know why at some point.
Okay, I suspect it was year-end adjustments and perhaps stipends and so forth.
Our summer program, so you
Yeah.
can see.
And, right, yeah. We'll try to get a clarification on that for next meeting.
Oh, it's us.
Okay, good question. Anything else for finance? Maybe looking for a color.
No, I
think it's chartreuse. I'm not
I
sure.
am looking at, well, it says that you're going to prep and paint the red steel, structural steel blue. So I guess they didn't like the red color. I'm going with blue this time.
Well, I'm not sure, but it'll work. It's a professional organization that knows how to do that kind of metal painting. I'm sure they'll.
Well, I'm sure it will be lovely. It'll be clean.
Okay, teacher curriculum committee. Oops, I skipped planning and policy, sorry. Didn't
That's
mean to
okay,
do that
planning
either.
policy is not met.
Okay. And does planning and policy have some summer plans?
But we have some policies coming up for first reading today.
Yeah.
Just in a new business section, and we'll be meeting between this first reading and second reading to discuss those policies in detail.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure whether you had already had a whack at them or not. But they have, these are policies that have been through the SCSU.
Yes.
So they're not terribly different from you. Okay, teacher curriculum.
We met on June 18th, and we approved the hiring of, hired a new SAP counselor, Hakua, I think I pronounced her first name. Hanako, sorry. Thank you. Hanako Jones. And so she's, I'm assuming, coming on board really soon. And she's replacing the old SAP who left at the end of the school year.
Who was that?
I knew you were going to ask me.
Mary Ann Kinney.
Sorry. I remember her first name was Mary, but I couldn't remember her last name. So that's all we do.
That's all we did. That's all. Dams committee.
And Dams committee also met on June 18th, and we approved I guess it's more of a transfer than a hiring of Flo Levin from special education to be the new PEAK coordinator, which PEAK is that acronym for the alternative program that happens within the course of the regular student's day. PEAK doesn't stand for anything, it's not an acronym for anything, but so she's coming from special ed, and she's going to be taking over that program with an extra special ed component into it too. So we did that on June 18th. And then BAM's committee also met again on June 27th, and we approved the hiring of Deborah Sefero, who's a new math specialist, teacher, and coach. So she's going to be working with the teachers related to math stuff, as well as a group of some students as well, a couple times a day. So we were replacing some holes in the staffing.
Okay, thank you, Ricky. WRCC committee did meet. Also, Ruth and I were involved with the interviewing process, and Michael will be presenting us with a hire accordingly. He can fill us in on that. But the committee met on July 1st and reviewed 7, I believe, 1% requests that finish up the year, and reviewed basically a responsibility change for one paraeducator. You might mention that in your report, what you're doing there. So that was the WRCC report. And any other committee reports? Okay, is there a motion to approve consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Moved by Ricky, second by Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Seeing none, consent agenda is passed. Can we move on to administrative reports? And we won't make the new guy go first. How about that? Representing
Read my
the high
mind.
school tonight, Kate Margaitis.
Hi. Yep, we are thrilled with graduation and wish our newest alumni well. We graduated 192 students. The weather and ceremony were both perfect. A special thank you to the custodial staff for their work before and after. A thanks to Dave Zolnowski and Chapa Chico for having the field in great shape. And of course, thanks to the class advisors, Lisa Johnson and Karen Henry, for their hard work over this week, but also over the past 4 years. And finally, thanks to Kathy Rulo for planning and preparation that goes into senior awards night and graduation. Summer school has started with 15 students. We'll visit GS Precision, GCC, and Keene State this week. Other college visits, we'll visit UMass on the 14th, CCV on the 21st, Norwich and VTC on the 24th, and Southern Vermont College on the 28th. We'll either visit or have speakers from Rescue Inc., the WRCC Auto Program, Top Tier Bakery, BSAC, BMH, and the National Guard. And thanks to Rhonda Weingart and Megan McLaughlin for their hard work lining up these great experiences for our students. We're hosting Workforce New England in school this week, if you haven't noticed. This group of well-supervised young adults complete community service projects throughout New England every year. They have worked with SEVCA to identify about 20 homes in need of repairs this week. And they're sleeping, eating breakfast and dinner here at BUHS each day. And they will be here through Saturday.
Where are they sleeping?
I think in the gym.
Oh.
I think. Or the
So you
NPR.
guys-
They're in some big space like
They're in
that.
both.
They're in
The
both?
females
Okay.
are separate.
Probably a good idea. Okay.
Sleeping bags? Do they bring sleeping bags or?
I'm assuming, yeah, they have air mattresses or cots or whatever. So, yeah.
Kate, can I just ask about the visits? You said the students are visiting UMass on July 14th?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should talk to, I teach there.
Okay.
So maybe I can
Yeah.
be involved in that.
Okay.
I know they did last year, and I didn't know that they were doing that, so
Okay. Super.
we can talk
All right,
afterwards.
sounds good. The maintenance staff is working hard to clean and repair the building, despite hosting workforce, having both the BUHS and BAM summer programs on site. They've done some great floor repairs by the high school and middle school bus loop entrances, and more projects will be completed over the course of the summer. And we greatly appreciate their work that they've done and will do all summer. And then we welcome back Assistant Principal Chris Day this week. He was on leave from BUHS while orchestrating a large-scale domestic National Guard exercise. So he's back from Louisiana, and we're looking forward to catching up with him. And finally, we have Michelle Hood and Dan Braden are in Baltimore for 2 weeks at Project Lead the Way training. And so this training will certify them to teach 2 new courses in the STEM Academy. Principles of Biomedical Science and Human Body Systems. We'll be teaching 3 sections of each course next year, which is a far greater enrollment than we anticipated. And so several 1% projects are in process as well from the rest of the BUHS staff. Get ready for that. And that's it.
Thank you. Questions? Not, Mr. Burnett?
Thanks, Mike. So for the last 2 weeks, our student organization, Skills USA, and also FBLA have had an opportunity to go to their national competitions. And Skills USA 2 weeks ago went to Kansas City, and 2 of the students were in the robotics class in competition and they placed first place in this past spring at the state level. So they had a great opportunity to present their skills at the national level, and they placed 15th overall nationwide. So hats off to these students. Very impressive, and their advisor and teacher, Amy Anthony, traveled with them. So it was very exciting for them. FBLA last week went to Nashville, Tennessee for their national competition and conference. And they experienced many business level skills, competitions, and also trainings. And although they didn't place the greatest in the nation, but it was a great experience for them, no matter what. And their advisors, Mary Beth Cornell and Barb Vinci, and Joyce Raffin traveled with them, students, to assist. So great time had by all. I want to thank the community, Brattleboro community, and parents for attending our award ceremony. It was a great turnout. We had around 300 individuals show up for a beautiful dinner presented and prepared by our culinary kids and teachers. And it was a great experience and wonderful opportunity for the kids and awards. As Woody mentioned earlier, we did interview the last week of school 4 candidates for the para-automotive professional job. The committee identified Bob Lyden to be the best choice for the position. Bob has an associate's degree an automotive tech from VTC, Vermont Technical College, and a few years experience working in the field of automotive and customer service. So we felt that Bob would be a great addition to our automotive program that has 43 students signed up for its first year program next year, so we're going to need someone that's very in tune with the automotive world. So I'd like to recommend to the board to accept the recommendation for Bob Leiden for our new WRCC paraprofessional for next upcoming school year.
Mr.
Handle that
Woodworth,
now? Yes.
I move that we appoint Robert Leiden as paraprofessional in the automotive program for the ensuing year.
Second by Mike Collier. Okay, any discussion, questions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Seeing none, it's unanimous.
Great, thank you. We look forward to working with him this year. One last item, Jana Crafts has been a part-time para in our, not culinary, in our horticulture program, and also 3/4 time working with our college and career readiness class. And she's done an outstanding job along with Marty Litch, our other teacher. And I'm going to shift her from being a para to being a coordinator for our pre-tech programs. We have a smorgasbord of pre-tech programs that need to be under one umbrella. And she has actually stepped up to volunteer to help coordinate that process to make it more of a seamless process for students to choose from. And these classes are for incoming 9th graders and 10th graders. So they'll have a better understanding of what's available to them and give them a nice taste of what we have to offer at the Career Center. And that's it.
So her other responsibilities will be absorbed by someone else?
Yes, other paras.
Okay.
Do we need to, I'm sorry, do we need to make a motion on that, or is that just
No.
a,
That's just a
within your
internal
discretion?
there's no
Information.
hiring or anything like that, you know. Just kind of information. Okay. He's been here for 7 days. He must have an incredible report.
Well, I've been, the welcome has been tremendous. People have been very friendly and coming in and meeting me, and meet the custodians who are working hard during the summer. And you know, Jerry Curry has just been outstanding in helping me get started. And we went right into it. We're doing some interviews. We have to hire the tech ed position, Raf, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Raphael Adamek. I assume you already took that resignation, yes. And also the Beams director position. We've been pretty active in reviewing resumes and had teachers in as part of kind of hiring committees. And we're close, but I don't quite have any appointments for tonight. And I don't know, Ricky, could we get together? Could we get that subcommittee together maybe this week? Should we talk after?
Yeah, let's talk after the try to figure out time.
We hope that we can fill 2 of those positions this week and make some decisions this week.
SPAMS is doing their summer votes.
Yeah, I read that.
Committee.
The last board meeting. So we're making some progress here, but that's kept me pretty busy. And Jen Miner's been outstanding in kind of getting me going and set up, and had some nice conversations with Miss Crisco. It was hard for her to leave, but she was really great and kind of wishing me luck and setting me up. So we also, January 1st, my first day right off the bat, we had our AYP Green Mountain Star team come together and meet to talk and look at professional development for next year, and working on what we're going to do during the in-service times and and some of our priorities for the year. And that was most of that morning. It was really great. So we have a pretty good plan to start the year. So good start.
Great. All right.
I was racking my brain when I saw that you were hiring a new beams director. I couldn't remember hearing the circumstances. Did she resign, or did she get a new position within the school or within the supervisory union? That's Stacy?
Yeah, she resigned. She took a teaching position over in Keene, I believe. So.
She'll be here. She'll be here for another month or so. So thankfully, she can kind of get the summer programs up and running. So that's I don't have a lot more than that.
Thank you. Okay, let's see, that brings it down to from central office, and I just have a couple of brief things to report. I want to echo the success of the Career Center Awards. I always enjoy that, and had the privilege to attend. And that was great. Also, senior awards night this year. And I had a senior, but I just like to attend that in general. That was a great event. And I appreciate Ricky stepping in on bands moving up, right, I guess they call it. I heard rave reviews of his oratory, and I appreciate that. Thank you. So all the year-end activities went pretty well, except graduation, and some old guy busted the flower pot in front of the, I hope they've apprehended him and made him pay for it.
How did I miss that?
You missed that?
I missed
Well, my older son in the stands didn't miss it. Kicked out of me trying to put that flower pot back together on TV.
I didn't watch that video.
But anyway, great year end, and thanks again to all the administrators for making it happen. And graduation in particular, the weather was absolutely spectacular, and the kids did a fabulous job with their speeches, and just a good time in general. Today I had the opportunity to attend one of the Governor's Institute sessions in Brattleboro at SIT. The Current Issues in Youth Activism Institute is held here. And I had a chance to sit in today with the kids in some roundtable discussions and with some of the local legislators. And there were 4 or 5 at least youngsters from BUHS there, and it was great to sit and listen to them. They are really engaged in what they're doing there this week and a half, and a great program. But it was kind of fun to have some local youngsters involved in the program. So that's it for me, and I think that's it for administrative reports. Did we miss anybody that's here, right? So is there any unfinished business? Ruth?
We didn't mention anything about a future finance committee meeting. I suppose we're going to have to have one sometime.
Yes, we are. Well, I'm sure Frank will have warrants for us to, and there's been some discussion about changing the time from our wonderful 7 a.m. to a different time, but that's going to be a discussion. So we will need to have one as soon as the first warrants are ready for July. So.
Yeah, that'll probably be fairly soon.
Yeah, that won't be long. You're right.
And speaking of finance committee, I will probably have to resign from the committee, so I hope that someone else on the board that maybe hasn't had a chance to be on it, or maybe has had a chance to be on it but misses it, would like to take my spot, so that there's more than 2 people plus the chair, because the chair doesn't usually vote.
Yeah, we would like to continue to have 4. And we haven't completed negotiations with you yet either. So.
I'll stay tuned.
Okay. New business. Policy reviews.
Yep, we have 4 policies that have gone for review. They're just at the first reading stage. C7, board relations with the administrators. F24, firearms. F26, participation of home study students in school programs and activities. And F32, student self-expression and student distribution of literature. My initial look through, they don't look really any different than they were 3 years ago when we last reviewed them. But we will be, planning policy will be meeting at some point, probably a standalone meeting between this meeting and our next regular board meeting. So if anyone has any questions or concerns about these policies, you're of course more than welcome to come to that meeting or just pass them on to somebody that's going to be there.
These are previously adopted by the SCSU board, and I probably should know this, but did they have a specific policy committee too that reviews these, or just the
I
entire?
don't believe so.
Not that I know. It doesn't come through the finance committee, that I know.
No, they don't. I've inquired.
So it just basically gets presented to everybody and the whole group votes on it.
I think the only standing committee that they have is finance, isn't it?
I certainly know they have a finance committee.
Yeah, and I think that's the
I
only
think
standing
they do
committee
standing
they
committee.
have.
I wonder if we're gonna have that negotiation committee since there's more staff now under the SU. I don't know how that will work. But
Well,
I did have some comments on these policies, but I've emailed them to Ian and the copy to Ron. So I'd be happy to share them with you two if you want.
Okay, well, I think probably after the committee's
we'll
had
take those all up.
a whack at it. You know, obviously, just because it's been approved by the SCSU doesn't mean that it's, you know, written in the tablet that Moses brought down from the mountain. But it does mean that generally they've been, you know, they're not something new that somebody just cooked up. So, but have at it, and we'll hear how you feel about it when we next meet, probably, which will be in August. Okay, anything else under new business? If not, I would just remind everyone that we have scheduled our August board meeting to include a planning session, and that will be on August 11th, and we will start at 6 o'clock with the planning portion of it. Did I get that right? Everybody's got that? Yeah? Okay.
Is that a dinner meeting? Is that a dinner meeting?
It has been in the past from time to time. We could provide some victuals. That's an old-time term for food. I don't know where that came from. It just popped into my head. I think that's how it changed to vittles. Why don't we plan on having some sort of, and I'll see to that.
Thank you.
Because that will incite everybody to show up.
What was the date on that?
August 11th. And what I've asked Ron too is that by that time he will have spent a little bit of time with administrators in terms of the plan for next year. And I'd like to have him, so we kind of know what they've got planned, so we can help support that and work with it for their plans for the year. Okay.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Okay, thank you all very much. Sacrificing summary, but it wasn't too long.
Mr. Lyman,